All right, everybody. Vlog number 4. I'm excited to share this one with you today because I think it just stands out so easily. So, we'll be discussing another short-term transit. This one is Mercury trine natal Mercury. So you can see that transiting Mercury is at 28 degrees of Sagittarius right now, and for the whole day, in fact, making an exact trine to my natal Mercury at 28 degrees of Leo. So obviously this is happening in fire signs. So the fire element is overemphasized, isn't it? It's very strong today. So I'm going to focus on what's happened in the previous 2 hours, even though if I were to talk about the whole day, I could point at things that have happened throughout the day. But I think the past 2 hours are particularly illustrative of this transit. Dinner time. I decided to make black bean burgers. There was a little noise outside. There's fireworks. I'll get to that as well. I decided to make black bean burgers and French fries. And the black beans by themselves are already fire sign because they're black. And black is obviously like charcoal or something that's burnt because that creates the black color. So black is also an overemphasis of fire. Although you could see it in other elements as well, but I'm just making the case for today. Now, what was different is that I never fry anything at home. Usually I prepare like a stew or maybe like a soup, but I've never ever made a burger. And I've never made French fries neither. Like at most I'll make mashed potatoes. Or maybe I'll boil potatoes and just season them a little bit, but I don't fry them because I don't like to. But today I had this idea to make it kind of like a fast food situation. So I boiled the potatoes and then I fry them. But as I'm frying them, I used olive oil, and olive oil has a low smoke point. And so obviously I have the heat on pretty high so that it can fry up. And so it just starts smoking like crazy. And you can see the whole house is getting filled with smoke, and I'm getting a little bit nervous because usually my boyfriend doesn't like that. But true to the fifth house that is involved here, we were actually having a lot of fun. It was kind of banter, and we were making fun of the situation. We were just laughing about everything that's happening and how it's all kind of out of control. And so a lot of our conversation revolved around the smoke and the smoke point of the oil, and that probably they're getting too much fried. Maybe I shouldn't eat anything that's fried. And oh my goodness, it's so dry. And same with the black bean burgers. In the recipe, the author emphasizes that they should get a nice golden crust on each side. Well, my black bean burgers didn't get a golden crust, they got a thick black crust. And I could just taste the burn off of them. To be fair, this was my first time making them. But as I'm eating this, I just feel how it's all so dry. And my boyfriend was making the same comment. It's very salty and it's very dry. And when you have that kind of food, obviously it pulls the moisture from your tongue. So you're left feeling like this dry mouth. And I still feel it right now. Like there is the overemphasis of the fire element this evening. And earlier on, I decided to make a homemade barbecue sauce. And again, the author emphasizes that this barbecue sauce is supposed to taste kind of smoky. And of course, the things that I'm putting inside of it are kind of spicy, like apple cider vinegar and chili flakes and red paprika and ketchup and mustard. So everything that I'm putting into this sauce has either a red tinted color or a bright yellow color, everything. And by the way, in the 2 years that we've lived in this house, I have never once purchased ketchup. And ketchup is just this like bright red tomatoey thing. And so for dinner, I had that barbecue sauce that I made and the ketchup on the side with the French fries, which are horrible. They were a disaster. And so there you can see all the fire element. Now, I'm going to take you to two other events. One of them is very small and simple. My boyfriend decided to bring in a second heater into the house because he was like, "Oh, okay, the small heater that we have isn't working too well. I think we should, warm up more." And so after he brought in the second heater, it made a huge difference. Like you could sense how much more quickly the whole house was getting heated. And so we were talking about that as well. We're like, "Oh, wow, this is so nice. Like, look at this warmth. It's keeping the cold away so nicely." And like, "Oh, it's so toasty." And then there's a video game I play. It's called League of Legends. Probably some of you have heard of it. And there's a specific game mode where you're given a random character, and then as you get into the match, you can choose augments for that character's skills. And they give you a set of different augments, and the augments are also different. They just improve your battle play during the game. And the character that I got this game was Mel. And Mel casts fire spells. And she has three basic abilities. One of them is she sends out like 9 fireworks all at once. The second one is that she reflects an ability by encasing herself in like a golden shield. And the third one is that she sends out a ball that looks exactly like the sun. And so there you can see Leo and Sagittarius. Now, the augment that I chose for Mel was called Skilled Sniper. Sniper being Sagittarius, the archer, the long range shooter. And when I have this augment, if I hit enemies with my abilities from far away, then the cooldown of that ability is reduced by 80%. And so that means I can use that ability again very quickly. So there's a very small refraction period before I'm using it again. That's exactly what was happening the entire round, the entire match with Mel. I was just sending out fireworks in the sun, fireworks in the sun, fireworks in the sun. It just really stood out to me because it was so much fire being cast over and over and over and over and over again. And her other ability, by the way, her passive is called Overwhelm. And so she keeps stacking stacks of fire onto the enemies. And of course, I really enjoyed that round because I was sending out these long range and it was over and over and over again. So there you can see again the overemphasis of fire, but it's happening not only in my like normal reality, let's say, but it's also in the video game. And so the point I want to make to you here is that these transits are indicating absolutely everything that you go through in the day. There's not a single thing in your day that isn't reflected by the transits. No matter if it's what's happening in your thoughts, if it's what's happening with you and your boyfriend, if it's what's happening in the video game, if it's what you witness at the grocery store. So the best way for you to work with understanding your chart is by working with the transits because the transits are indicating exactly what's happening today. And when you see the logic behind it, that it's so obvious and so exact, you go through an immense mental transformation and you start to enjoy every little thing that happens in your life because every day is a new mystery. What are the transits going to create in my life today? And it's like a game. And you're constantly making the puzzle. You're constantly organizing the transits to what you see around you. And then you become very cosmic because you see the celestial architecture that is behind your mundane life. And at the same time, you're very grounded because you see the logic behind every little event. And that it's like this magical, mysterious, extraordinary life. And there's the fireworks because it's New Year's Eve. But it's by no incident that it's during the exact trine of Mercury in Sagittarius to Mercury in Leo. There's lots of boom and lights outside and fireworks everywhere. This is in my reality. And for all of you as well, because Mercury is in Sag. Mercury is communication, and communication is sometimes sound, and Sagittarius is something that goes high up in the sky. There's the fireworks. All right, everyone. Let's stop that here for today. And as always, I would love to hear your feedback if this has made sense to you. And also, especially if after watching this video or while watching this video, you've pulled up your chart and your transits and you can make some connections between what's happening with Mercury, for example, and a planet in your chart in case you're having an exact aspect between them today. And to make it easy for yourself, you can always focus on the exact aspects because they're the loudest on that given day. Even though you'll see in further vlogs and also when you do your own practice that in fact transits are in effect when they're applying, exact, and separating for quite a variety of orbs. Doesn't have to be a tight orb. As you go through this, you're going to discover a lot about how astrology works and more importantly, how existence is designed. Okay? I'm gonna stop recording and I will see you in the next vlog.